Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Allison, and my YouTube channel is Green Goddess Plant Seeds and Stitching, where I share my adventures and challenges in both gardening and cross stitching and crafting. So today is a garden chat, so it is all about the garden today and what we're doing. It's been a few weeks before I posted, or since I posted my last garden update. So yeah, things have been moving along. We've actually started moving some of the plants out of the basement here into the greenhouse. So we've had to do that because we basically ran out of room. There's no more room for any more plants, and I still have, the bulk of the tomatoes to start, and there's still peppers that needs to be transplanted and the whole bit. So it's just, there's lots to do. So, and the weather has finally cooperated, so we feel confident that we can move our plants out to the greenhouse. We do have a small heater in there, which is good, but it does have its limitations, which is why we haven't moved anything out there until now. So let's take a look at some of the tomato plants that I've started. Okay, so I did start some tomatoes. I started probably the last weekend of March is when I actually started them. So a little while ago, actually before that, it was probably a week before that I started them. Let's see, my records tell me that I started them on the 23rd of March, which is a little bit early, but I don't know, I just felt like I needed to get them going, call it intuition or whatever. But since then, I've been sick. I was knocked on my butt with a nasty chest cold, and I'm still recovering from that. I swear I was down and out for 10 days, if not longer, and I'm still feeling some of the effects from it. So that was nasty, but I'm back and I'm ready to go. But yeah, so I started tomato seeds. I don't have my list here, but I've got the packets. Because every year I do an heirloom plant sale, and I usually have a list with me of what I've got selected. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not as organized today as I had hoped. So, okay, let's see here. Okay, hopefully I'm organized now. All right, so I'm starting with my what I call the large slicers, large red. So red, pink, purple. These are your typical beefsteaks, nice big juicy tomatoes. So I've got Bonnie Best. So this is a lovely heirloom tomato. We've got German pink. I've got a tomato here called Melfort. Some of these seeds are a little bit older, but they still seem to be germinating. I just checked the trays. Michaelic. This is probably one of my favorite tomatoes, is the Michaelic. This is probably the best tasting tomato I've ever had. And they get big, nice, big, huge, beefy beefsteaks. Flavor wise, the last time I grew it and got tomatoes off it, I swear the flavor tasted like tomato soup. Like it was rich and it was creamy, and even the flesh of the tomato was wonderful. Like sometimes tomatoes can be mealy, but this was not mealy at all. It was a beautiful, beautiful tomato, and this is a prime example of why we save heirloom seeds, because this is a gem. This is an absolute gem. So I've got those. These are one of my absolute top picks for tomatoes. We've got Minsk, and then I've got Mortgage Lifter, and Hungry Hill Pink. You can see that. I've got a Lescana Beef, which is a Romanian variety. That's something a little bit different. I've got Fire Steel. I've got Rutgers, because everybody wants and loves a awesome canning processing tomato. I've got Trophy. Get the package up here. Another lovely old-time heirloom Trophy. And I've got Starfire, which is a Canadian heirloom. My grandmother used to grow these. And then Upstate Oxhearts. which are a great pick if you want a nice meaty tomato that doesn't have a lot of gel or juice or seeds. Pardon me, I'm going to sneeze. My goodness, lots of stops and starts today. Okay, so next up for tomatoes that I've already started are my, what I refer to as the blue, black, brown tomatoes. So these are the ones that have, the anthocyane and coloration in them. So first up is my personal favorite, which is Black Beauty. I absolutely love this tomato. Even if nobody buys any of these plants, I will plant these out in my garden just because I absolutely love these. The only issue I have with these ones with the antho coloration is that they do take a lot longer to ripen, like a lot longer than a lot of the other tomatoes. So that's the only real drawback. But they are stunning in the garden, absolutely stunning, and they taste good too. So that's Black Beauty, and then I've got Blue Beauty. It's another excellent variety, really good flavor. I've got Blood Moon. This is a little bit smaller. It's like a small slicer. I've grown it a couple years ago, and it was really quite a nice, lovely little tomato. I've got one called Black Ruffles. Something new that I picked up. I think I got these seeds from the Seedy Sunday here in Middle Lake, so I thought, oh, I'm going to give those a go. That's something different. I've got Carbon. This is supposed to be one of the best tasting tomatoes out there. I'm not sure I agree. I think the Michaelic is my favorite. We've got Sunfired Flare. And then last but not least, we got Thornburn's Terracotta, which is a beautiful tomato. I've grown this before, and it's absolutely stunning and lovely and has a great flavor. All right, so that was my blue, black, brown tomatoes. And then I got started on my the yellow tomatoes. So basically when I sort my seeds into my seed boxes, I have like yellow, orange, white, and other tomatoes, and then I have a separate category for bicolor or striped. But when I'm planting stuff out, I kind of lump the yellow, the orange, the bicolor, and the striped in to get one category. And I haven't got them all planted, but I've started. So I've got Armenian. This is new to me. I haven't tried that one before. I've got Gold Medal, also known as Ruby Gold. I've got Golden Queen, which is one of my personal favorites. And then I've got Golden Oxheart. So those ones have already been started. And I do have more that I plan to start today. So I'm going to continue with, sorry about that. I am going to continue with my the yellow tomatoes, the yellow striped bicolor. So among those ones in that category are the Juan Flamme, which is a very, very well-known French heirloom. It's new to me, but I have heard of it. I've got Kellogg's Breakfast that I got in a seed trade. I've got Morden Yellow. So this is a yellow tomato that is a Canadian developed tomato, as the name suggests. It was developed in Morden, Manitoba at the research station there. I've got some Longkeeper. I'm not sure if there'll be a demand for these. I know last year there was, so I might only start maybe half a dozen of these just so we've got a few. I've got Orange Jazz. I also have the Pink Jazz, which I don't think I'm going to grow this year. I was thinking of it, but we'll just stick with the Orange Jazz for this year. Oh wait, yeah, I do have the Pink Jazz here, but I might. Yeah, I've got quite a few. Yeah, so Pink Jazz, and then we've got paste tomatoes. So I don't have as many varieties of paste tomatoes. I know last year I tried to grow quite a few. I tried to have a good selection of different paste tomatoes that are just as good, if not better, than your standard Roma. But I do have the tried and true San Marzano. These did really well for us last year. They were among some of the tomatoes. Like we had one area of tomatoes had a lot of problems with blossom end rot. These were planted in that area, and they did not get blossom end rot at all. So I'm impressed. I've got Maria's paste. And I've got alpaca. This is a new one. Sorry, pardon me. Still have that cough from that cold. Alpaca, that's supposed to be a Polish variety. I've got sausage tomato. And then I've got the 10 fingers of Naples, and I am not going to try and pronounce the Italian name because I'll just butcher it, and I don't want to do that. So those are my paste tomatoes for this year. I'm looking forward to trying all of them. If we can get them in the ground, we're hopeful for a nice early season. The snow is melting. Like, it's been nice the last couple of days. It's been nice and warm. Today, the sun's shining and you can feel that the warmth in it, but man, there's a cold wind blowing. All right, so next up for seeds are the cherry tomatoes, and some of these I might change my mind on just because we've got so many already. Or if I do start them, I might only start one or two so that we've got a nice selection of cherry tomatoes that we can then take to the farmer's market and sell, kind of thing. So we've got Sun Gold, yes, which is a hybrid, but it's a very tasty hybrid. I've got Napa Chardonnay. It's a sort of a pale yellow tomato. I've got Sweet Aperitif, which is my personal absolute standout favorite for cherry tomatoes. I grow this every year. It is beautiful and tasty. I've got White Currant. These plants get quite large, and they are a nice tomato. I've got Napa Rosé. I've got Yellow Currant. I've got Britain's Breakfast, which I've grown before, but it's been a while. And this is a lovely little tomato. It's probably a little more tart, a little more on the tart side. So if you don't like a super sweet cherry tomato, this is probably ideal. I've got Fargo Yellow Pear, which is a beautiful tomato. It's been a while since I've grown this, but they're absolutely stunning. They're beautiful, nice, plum-shaped yellow tomatoes, and they have a great flavor. I've got Golden Hour, and I've got Helsing Junction Blues. We've had a request for these, so that's why I'm growing them. I've got Isis Candied Cherry, which I've never grown before. That's new. I've heard it's supposed to be quite good. I've got Karma Purple Multiflora. These I got, I'm not sure where I got these from. I might have been a seed trade, so I'm not sure what they're like. And then I've got the Manx Marvel. This is supposed to be an heirloom. That's supposed to be from the Isle of Man. And then last but not least, I've got Yellow Pear, which is a very old heirloom variety. So that's what I'm going to be doing, in addition to doing some transplanting. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you what we've got. We've got lots of room here. Now we moved some plants. Now, unfortunately, some of my tomatoes, well, I shouldn't say all of them, have become a bit stretched and leggy, and I'm not sure why. They just grew really fast. And I didn't have that problem with the peppers, but they just shot right up. So a lot of these are almost ready for transplanting too. But over here against the back here, we still have a lot of peppers that still have to be transplanted. And of course, Glenn started more on me. I have no idea what we're going to do with all these ahi mangoes. My goodness. But most of these here at the back that need to be transplanted are sweet peppers. And I've got some herbs and some petunias that need to be transplanted as well. So I'm going to be very, very, very busy the next few days trying to get all of this accomplished now that we've got some room. And I'm feeling better than I was before. And hopefully we can get these all done up and then moved over to the greenhouse. So we still have lots of pepper plants. These ones are definitely ready to go. A lot of them are starting to flower. A lot of them are just, what is this? Oh, that's a chocolate habanero. We've still got tons of peri-peris. We've got, this is a Turkish flower. We've got a Thor's Thunderbolt back in there. There's a Hallows Eve. We've got, oh, look at these. They've got flowers on them. This is a fish pepper. But one's back over here that have got flowers on them. So yeah, they're needing to be moved and transplanted. I do want to put some of them into larger 4-gallon pots for ourselves, but a lot of these are going to be for a plant sale. And then once the plant sale's done, a lot of them will go into the garden. So yeah. Hello everyone. So it is the next day. I got busy doing stuff with Glenn and helping him out with a few things, so I didn't get to end my video yesterday, so I'm going to do it this morning. I wanted to show you what we got going on in the greenhouse. It's a sunny day. Right now it's about 0, right around the freezing mark, with a forecasted high of plus 12 degrees today, so it's going to be a beautiful warm spring day. And I'm just taking you inside here to our little greenhouse. All right, so this is our little greenhouse. It's nothing fancy or big. It's, you know, a lesson in working with what you got. We would love to build something bigger, different, but you know, any kind of infrastructure is going to cost a lot of money to build, and right now we don't have that, so we're just working with what we got. So most of these that we moved in here the other day are piri-piris. There are a few others. We've got this forest of piri-piri peppers. I think there's going to be a very good deal to be had on these ones if you're looking for some hot pepper plants in the Meadow Lake area. We got lots to sell. So but there are a few others in here. These ones that are blooming, these are Dorset Nagas. We've got some purple cayennes up in here. There's some more Dorset Nagas. There's some purple cayennes. I know the containers, they're outgrowing the containers, and that's kind of why they're starting to bloom, is that they need more space. So they need to either go into much bigger pots or into the garden. So this is a fish pepper. These are supposed to have a variegation on them. You can kind of see that. We've got lots of these 7-pot purple scorpions. There's a Primero red habanero. Lots of 7-pot purple scorpions. Like, we've got so many hot peppers, it's not even funny. So down over here, this is our little heater. It's a diesel heater. It works. It does have its limitations, like the space that we're in. It'll keep it going. Pardon me. You know, I think until about a low of minus 10 degrees Celsius. After that, it struggles. So I know we've been keeping an eye on it just to make sure that it keeps going. And of course, we got some mixing fans up here, and when it gets really hot, these 2 fans can be opened. Like once the sun moves around and starts to shine on here, it will warm up really quickly. Like, it's sitting at 15 degrees in here right now, which is good. It's above freezing. It's a little bit cooler, so these plants are not going to grow as fast. But once that sun starts to hit the greenhouse, it'll just double in no time. So we do have ways of cooling things down. So yeah, that's our little greenhouse as it is. It will be filling up. I've got more transplanting to do today, and I'll probably ferry another carload of trays over once I'm done that for the day. And then the more we can get moved over, the sooner the better. I think, because yeah, it is a little bit cooler down here. I think the sunlight is better out here because we've got the natural sunlight. And yeah, but things are continuing on. I got lots yet to start. You know, like I said, I've been working on the tomatoes. You know, we still have cucumbers to start, pumpkins, cabbage, all of that all still has to get started. Usually those I don't start till about the mid of the month, mid-April or end of April even, because like things like cabbage grow very quickly and they get stretched really fast. So I'll probably wait till the end of the month, at least for the cabbage anyway. And for the cucumbers, I'd like to do a couple of at least 2 plantings of cucumbers. It'd be nice if we could do that, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this update of our garden. Before we know it, it's going to be July and we're going to be picking stuff. Like, the time is just flying right by. We're just so busy. So thank you again. I hope you're having a great day. Have a great week. Happy Monday. And until next time, take care.